Good morning. Good morning again. Third time's a charm. Good morning. There we go. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. My name's Scott. I'll be your host for the next couple of minutes. I know what you're thinking, but this is the weekend that Tiffany is supposed to be here. So I really have to make a full disclosure. My name is Tiffany, and I can't tell you how much religious science has changed me. So, all right. First of all, yeah, Lola. First of all, silence your telephone. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. I was able to grow in just a week. Got rid of those hormones, and look what happened. Anyway, please silence your phones, pagers, whatever other things you have that might be beeping. I don't think anybody even has pagers anymore. Yeah. Beepers, as they used to be called. We always start our service with an acknowledgement of the land on which we are located. Am I doing this right? Yes, I am. Okay, there we go. Thank you. I've never done this before. You'll have to forgive me. So we will start out with the Eureka Center for Spiritual Living acknowledges that the land on which we gather is the ancestral territory of the Wiyot peoples. This territory extends to the communities through most of Humboldt County, and we honor the Wiyot peoples today. Okay, let us move forward. One song, we'll get us started with Donna singing us in a lively song of One Foot in Front of the Other. Get into it. It's a great song.
Please stand. If you remember, this is a call response. Here we go. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with. Don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. So you gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Lift up your eyes. Don't you despair. Look up ahead. The path is there. So you gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. I know you're scared. Maybe I'm scared too. But here I am, right next to you. So you gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. So you gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in the other and lead. And we're gonna lead with love.
We are going to paraphrase that song and call it Put One Slide in Front of the Other. I don't know what was going on there. That song is, of course, a song that, I mean, I know I first heard it. I know where you first heard it. It was at one of the rallies over the past year or so. And there is another rally this Friday, May 1st. It's an evening rally at the courthouse if you are so inclined to attend. I think it's at 5. Okay, let us move forward with other stuff, providing the slides go where they're supposed to go. There we go. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to welcome each other to the center. Together we'll say the top part. And first of all, welcome Zoomers, welcome guests, new people, people who haven't been here before, people who have been here a lot of times. It does not matter. We're just glad you're here. So we'll say the first part together and then just get up, introduce yourself to somebody. You can certainly say, I honor the path that brought you here this morning. You can say, I'm glad you're here. It is not recommended you say, why the hell did you show up? That's not something we usually do. But just be friendly, greet somebody, especially if you don't know them. Let's make this a nice, warm room of greetings. So together we say, we are a welcoming community where the vibration of love lifts us, the wisdom of the ages inspires us, and the science of mind teaching empowers us. Go greet someone. As you can see on the screen, which seems to be working appropriately, there are a lot of events coming up this week. Please memorize them and then destroy it so nobody else is aware of what's happening. Also, I would like to point out, whenever I do the moderating, we have, I know I promote it a lot, but I think it's a really cool thing, not only because my wife and I helped put it up, but it's just a great concept. The Positivity in the other room is a collection of positive thoughts, and there are little leaf Post-its that are in a basket right next to it. So if you've got a positive thought, please write it on a leaf and put it on the tree. And if there's a positive thought that's on the tree that you would like to take with you, plants need to be pruned, as we're about to find out for this coming week. So please take a leaf with you. And I, every week, come in and if I'm going to do this, I grab 2, and in light of what was going on, I've got a couple of comments here. The 2 that I have, like that's a surprise to you, the 2 comments that I pulled out from the Positivity are very simple. One says, all life is sacred, important reminder, and the other says, conquer fear. So I grabbed those 2. And I wanted to, a lot of times when I'm moderating, I like to talk about this day in history and all that, but I wanted to go for something a little more inspirational today, because I think we are in trying times. I think we would all agree with that, especially in light, again, of more of a potential violence. So I went online, and one of the things I learned is you really need to double check when AI gives you something, because I asked AI for some quotes, and I've become smart enough now to say, verify where you got these. And each time I've done it, I get this contrite response from Claude who says, I'm glad you asked. I didn't source that correctly, and so now I have correctly sourced quotes from 3 people, and I think they apply to today's world. So the first one, in no particular order, 2 quotes, which Claude put together into one, and they're actually separate. Nelson Mandela, from his autobiography, A Long Walk to Freedom. I am fundamentally an optimist. Whether that comes from nature or nurture, I cannot say. And I thought it was an important thought to remember. And then he also said, what was the other part? Part of being an optimist is keeping one's head pointed towards the sun, one's feet moving forward, lead with love. There were many dark moments when my faith in humanity was sorely tested, and I would not and could not give myself up to despair. That way lays defeat and death. Another person you might have heard of, Martin Luther King, Jr., from his 1968 book, The Trumpet of Conscience. If you lose hope, somehow you lose the vitality that keeps moving. You lose that courage to be, that quality that helps you go on in spite of it all. And so today, I still have a dream. And then he also had said, from a speech in Memphis, April 3rd, 1968, only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. And then finally, 2 quotes from the Dalai Lama. Again, all of these designed to help hopefully inspire and remind us that we're going to be okay. The first one, here we go. No matter what sort of difficulties, how painful experience is, if we lose our hope, that's our real disaster. And from his 2012 book, Beyond Religion, Ethics for a Whole World, to remain indifferent to the challenges we face is indefensible. If the goal is noble, whether or not it is realized within our lifetime is largely irrelevant. What we must do, therefore, is to strive and persevere and never give up. So, needed a little bit of hope from my side. I hope it passed it on to you also. Please go forward and lead with hope. The plant sale is coming up this week, and I presume, Lori, are you going to have something to say about it? Okay. Putting one foot in front of the other. You are walking really well.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I want to be positive, but I'm not feeling it. Part of doing the plant sales, we have this book that has all the history of other plant sales, and the volunteer lists are incredibly long. And part of the reason I chose to chair the plant sale this year was because of the volunteer outpouring we had last year, but this year we're a little dry. So I told Angelica I wouldn't beg, but I think I'm going to beg. We need volunteers to sign up for the plant sale. There's no one signed up for cashiering in the afternoon, and there's no one signed up either day to help break down the sale. We're getting some for some of the other stuff, but please sign up. I'm begging. Okay? A couple of us need stuff unloaded out of our cars after the service today, so it'd be really great if people could volunteer right here, right now, after the service. And then on Monday, Jack has volunteered to come to my house with his truck to load plants and bring them in here, but we need somebody to come and help with that at about 12:30 tomorrow, so we need that. And then Wakana had originally said that she was going to have probably Lance, I don't even know if Lance is on board with this, but because he had said yes to Thursday at 1 o'clock, and we were talking, I said, well, that doesn't give us a lot of time to price all those plants before Friday. And so she's like, how about Wednesday at 10? And it doesn't work for Lance. And so thank you, Nancy, for being flexible. We still don't know exactly what time it's going to be now, so it's kind of hard to ask for volunteers. Carrie? Okay, will you sign up on the list? Thank you. Appreciate that. It's out in the lobby. Okay, thank you. Angelica, I think begging is working. I'm getting some response.
And by the way, I didn't put my name down, but I'm here both days, the whole day for the cashier.
Yeah, it helps if I know people are actually going to be there. Thank you. Okay, anyway, I guess I'm done begging. Thanks.
Usually we have the sign-up sheet for the plant sale right on that table, and I think what's happening is you forget when you get in the lobby, turn left immediately and go to the little table right over there and sign up. Okay, don't forget, tie a little string around your finger.
If you are not aware, the plant sale is one of our 2 bigger fundraising events. It's a very fun one, too. I know I'm signed up for Friday. I've got rehearsal on Saturday. But the weather is always great on the plant sale, and you get to hang out with a bunch of cool people. And you might even take some plants home if you would like to. So it goes on Friday and Saturday. As Lori said, she unbegged. She was just asking extensively for people to show up. Please sign up. And as Anna's going to tell us again, go out the door and immediately to your left.
We have provided, Carol has provided food in the past. It's BYO lunch. So bring your little lunch, your food, your drinks and stuff. We'll probably have water and some soda, but please bring your own food.
Okay.
Scott,
Yes.
I have an announcement regarding next weekend as well.
Is this about the Ohms?
It is.
They're coming up in just a second.
Go for it.
Okay, and then I'll call you up. Speaking of which, it's up. Come on. I was told to add it to the potluck.
I'll stay here.
Okay.
So after the plant sale, you're gonna have Friday and Saturday. Don't stay away on Sunday, because we have a very special musical guest team. They are the Flying Ohms. They are a husband and wife, classically trained rock violinist duo. And they're going to blow your minds. And they're collaborating with our band. I should really tell our band. They're going to be collaborating with us too. And it's going to be a very, very special Sunday. So don't miss it.
Thank you. And it's kind of funny because I created an event on the Facebook page and I wanted to get some graphics, so I looked up Flying Ohms and I found all sorts of stuff about electronics. So, as in ohms.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a current issue.
It's a current issue. Yes, and you will get a charge out of it. Do not be shocked.
You'll have no resistance getting here.
He has no resistance to being here. All right, I think we've amped it up. Let's go forward. Sorry. For those of you who don't know, Jeff, was it you and Lorna who were the founders of the Humboldt County Pun-Off? Or just...
It first started with the original Board of Trustees in Lorna's living room in 1977.
So it was the Humboldt County Pun-Off, and if you've ever had to compete in puns with Jeff, or Rick St. Charles for that matter, it's not a situation you want to be in. It is just having been there and falling woefully behind many times. Anyway, the Flying Ohms next week. There's also a potluck next week, which is what prompted me to say that. It's the first Sunday of the month. We always do a potluck. Please bring food. Please bring friends. Come and be prepared to have a good time, as you will if you go to Hawaii this September. Angelica is leading a group of people to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Oh, the women's group. That's not on here. Okay. So,
I didn't know what the new date was.
oh, I see. Okay. Yes, it says a women's group up there, doesn't it? So the men's group next week is not happening because of the plant sale. The women's group next week is not happening because of the plant sale. But the women's group is moving till next Saturday, the 9th, from 11 to 1. And that's what that says. Now, on to Hawaii. No, now we're on to practice. I'll show you the slide list. I'm just following from the slide list. Well, Hawaii is happening, and that is September 22nd through the 29th. Angelica is leading a group to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the church that Angelica started on the Big Island. If you would like to know more about it, see Angelica, and I believe Burl is actually coordinating it and helping with the travel. And what? Oh, Burl is trying. Okay. Who knows what slide comes up next, so I'll just leave this one on. Practitioners are available. Where did that come from? You pulled it out of, never mind where you pulled it out of, but it's, yeah, that. Do I hit forward now? I don't know. Okay, I go forward now. No, now we're back to the women's group. Practitioners, oh Lord help us. Speaking of practitioners, if you would like to talk to a practitioner, why you'd want to talk to me is a mystery right now, but if you'd like to talk to the practitioners, myself, Edward, Susan are all here after the service. If you'd like to talk about the philosophy, something going on with you, just say hi, we would welcome it. Now, let's spin the wheel and see what comes up next. Yes, it's right. It's the little pantry. Our little pantry needs to be fed so we can help feed the community. Non-perishable food is welcomed, and if you would like to bring a bunch of it, bring it on Mondays, and Walk in Awe, I just saw her walk in. Yes, and Walk in Awe will put it out for you. Okay, I think I made it through it. Let's move forward to the next one. Yes, our theme for the last time is compassion in the new now. What's going to happen next is Donna's going to lead the song Sanctuary. Susan is going to come up and do a moment of peace. Jackson will play music to go with that, and then Angelica will come up and give us the message. And I'll get out of here.
I invite you to settle into your chair. Maybe let's take a big, deep breath. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Blessed are we to be a sanctuary, life expressing sacred truth. With thanksgiving, I remain a living sanctuary for you.
I mentioned in meditation that I'm practicing surrendering. So I'm reading today from a book by Dr. Roger Teal, This Life is Joy, from the chapter, This Journey is Surrender. After I do the reading, there'll be a moment of silence, and then Jackson will sing us into the invocation. So right now, I just invite you to settle in to your chairs, take a breath, and hear what Dr. Reverend Roger Teal has to say. Beyond each person's unique path of unfoldment, I believe that we all choose to come to this earth so that we might discover our inherent greatness of wisdom and heart, learn spiritual principles, comprehend existing forces, and allow ourselves to be instruments for love, peace, and creative unfoldment. To become an instrument of something more than the urges and fears of the worldly ego, we must learn to surrender. It is a necessary emptying prior to a heartfelt opening. There is a form of surrendering that is masterful, and when fully understood, it is what this life is about. Consider these expressions of purposeful surrendering. Rather than giving up, it is a flowing with and opening into. It is attuning to the wisdom and possibilities that are being obstructed by resistance and forcing. It is clearing a space for intuition and higher guidance to be realized and followed. It is a higher level allowing something better to emerge.
Silently now I wait for thee. Ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my eyes, illumine me. Spirit
And so I surrender. I surrender to be a sanctuary of love. I surrender to opening my eyes to seeing the higher truth that is mine to follow. And I know as we gather here today, all of us have got this opening of our hearts, of our minds, knowing that in some instances we do need to surrender. We need to let go of the ego and open the heart. And so I know that this gathering supports these thoughts, these hopes, these dreams that we have. And I know that with our energy and with our love that we send out into the universe, I know that we heal not only ourselves, our families, our communities, our world. And so I gather all the love that is in this room. I gather all the hearts that are surrendering to a higher picture, to a higher being, and I send them out into this world. I know that we are greater than we even imagine we are, that our light is stronger, that we are more powerful than we know. And as a group, as a gathering, we gather this. We not only allow it to touch our hearts, but we allow it to go out and touch others that we see, that we talk to, that we communicate with. And I know that this gathering will touch each of us in its own perfect way, and we will all take something with it. And so I simply let it be, knowing that it is good, it is very good, and so it is.
silently now I wait for thee. Ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my eyes, illumine me. Spirit divine.
And now, it is my great pleasure to welcome Reverend Angelica to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. And good morning, Zoomers. It's good to see everybody this morning. You know, it was last year we worked a lot on all the basics in religious science, the science of mind. And then I had decided for this year that we were going to, in my mind, it was, okay, now we've gotten the basics, what do we do with it? And so every month there's been something that we can do with this teaching and knowing this teaching. And today's talk is called Trusting the Path. And I want to remind all of us that we're all on a path, a spiritual path, whether you know it or not. And by the way, isn't this gorgeous? Amy does such a good job. And you know,
Look at it there, it looks like there's a real live plant.
yeah, it does. It's great. When I looked at this and thinking about trusting the path, what I saw was there's actually three paths, right? And so we've got spirit, mind, and body. This to me is the spirit one, the one in the center. This one over here is the mind, and this one is the body. And we're always on one of those, we're predominantly on one of those paths all the time. The one we want to stay on, which encompasses both the body and the mind, is spirit. That's one we want to stay on. And so when I thought about this word trust as I was working out my talk, I realized that I love the idea of trusting right up until the moment I actually have to do it. And you know, it's an interesting thing. But what I know is that, like when the path disappears into the fog here, or when timing doesn't match up with what we have intended, when life says not yet or even no, then trust becomes even deeper. The ability to trust becomes even deeper. So a long time ago on my path, I came up with this acronym for the word trust, and I'm sure I've used it with you before, but it's totally relying upon Spirit's timing. Trust. Totally relying upon Spirit's timing. And so, to me, this is not my timing or the world's timing, and it's not even the timing that I think would be better, right? It's Spirit's timing. And Dr. Holmes reminds us that there's a divine intelligence that's working through all of life, and it knows exactly what it's doing even when we don't. And that, to me, is what we have to trust. He says, oh, and by the way, Scott, the way to get the right quote is to say, please give me a quote about this with page number and book. So, in The Science of Mind, on page 145, he says, we must learn to trust the universe. It always has our good in mind. Think about that for a minute. I have realized over the last few days that we're either in judgment or, we're in judgment a lot, it seems. And yet, when I think about this idea, we must learn to trust the universe, that it knows what it's doing. I want to really rely on that. I really want to rely on that idea. So no matter what I'm seeing on the news, etc., I want to rely on that powerful presence that's in every cell and atom of our body, that's in every cell and atom of everything. Everything. And yet, sometimes I'm in that place where I think, well, life doesn't really know, that's life with a capital L, by the way, doesn't really know the way. And I wonder, can I trust this path, even when I can't see it? Many times, when we're moving through something, we can't really see what's coming. And so we go to the negative, it seems. And we don't want to do that. We want to trust this process, this path. And so one of the things that, I use myself for getting these lessons to everybody, and I want to admit something here. Since I fell last June and broke my arm, I have not felt really steady on my feet. And I've felt like, oh my God, this is what getting old is about? Not being, having to look every single step, it's just so weird. I used to just move through life, and now it's like I'm I've become so much more careful, more aware, and more cautious in how I move. And then this week, last week, I went to see my primary care physician about one thing, and we talked about some other things, and she recommended that I go see a chiropractor. And I said, and I haven't done that. I used to go see a chiropractor once a month, and I had done that for years and years, mainly because my spine is not straight. So that horrible word, scoliosis. But Lori recommended King Chiropractor, and then my doctor recommended King Chiropractor. So I thought, okay, I'll do this. So what was really bizarre is I'm sitting in the waiting room, and then I go into the office and his workroom, and I'm looking at this table thinking, what the heck? You know, I'm used to, you go into a chiropractor, the table is nice and straight, you know, and smooth and steady. This one is like this. It's standing straight up. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I've never seen anything like this. And it's got all these pieces to it, and he comes in, he introduces himself and everything, and I said to him, I have never seen a table like this before. And he goes, this is the Cadillac of tables. Well, it was pretty amazing, because you don't have to, you know, get down and climb onto the table. You know, you stand up to it and you lean on it, and he pushes a button and it takes you down. And then you know, he wants to work on one area or another, and part of it is, I guess they call it a drop table or something like that, but it helps him do his work. And, you know, that being interested in new things, you know, that was made the visit a lot easier for me. One of the things, though, that he said that kind of freaked me out was that when I fell last year and broke my arm, I probably twisted my spine. And I haven't been able to get it back to where it's supposed to be. And he said, this is why my muscles keep spasming. And what I realized is that I don't trust my body anymore. I just got that so clearly. And I thought, well, how terrible to be living in this wonderful earth suit and not trust it to do what it's supposed to be. And then I thought, you know, all of us go through stuff. It could be a disappointment, it could be a loss, it could be something that really shakes us, and suddenly we start moving through life a lot more carefully, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually as well. We begin to brace ourselves. Perhaps we even begin to hold ourselves back from doing things that we might have done. We have a sense of hesitation. And yet, when I think about that with this body, I realize that with care, with not forcing it to do what I want it to do, etc., then my body can come back into alignment. Our minds can come back into alignment. Our emotions can come back into alignment. And what do we want them to come into alignment with? Spirit. Spirit. And so what I realized with that, this whole idea of totally relying upon Spirit's timing, we have to rebuild that trust every time something happens. Not by forcing it, but by working with it. By working with it. So to me, this is what the path really looks like. It's not going down this road thinking everything is fine and ignoring what's happening, but saying, even here, healing is happening. Even here, something is being restored. Something is constantly being restored. So today, I might not trust my body fully, but I trust the life or spirit within my body. And I recognize that as I pay attention to that, then I will be able to move down this road of life with a lot more confidence. And we all come to that point at one point in our lives where everything, our trust in life itself is shaken. Our trust in politics is shaken. Our trust in the people around us gets shaken. And we try to move more carefully. And Emma Curtis Hopkins once wrote, "There is a way that leads unfailingly to the perfect end, and we are guided in it whether we know it or not." And when I read that, I thought, whether we know it or not, we're constantly being guided along this spiritual path. The thing is, we have to train ourselves to listen, to pay attention. I know that you, like me, get intuitive ideas all the time about stuff we should do. You know, I remember one time I have these rugs in my living room, animal print, of course, and, one of them had started to curl up on the edges, and I would go by it all the time and go, I should fix that so I don't trip over it. I should fix that so I don't trip over it. And guess what? Ah. It's interesting, though. Don't you do that, too? Yeah, I know I'm not the only one. But what I do know is that there is a path beneath our feet that we can't see. There's a rhythm in our lives, even when it feels offbeat. And sometimes what seems like waiting is often preparation. What feels like delay is often grace in disguise. Grace in disguise. What I know is that because absolutely everything is spirit, then the path is always there. We can breathe, we can take the next step, because something within us is saying, trust me, I know the way. We have to listen to it. More than we ever have before, I think, in this time that we're living through, we have to listen to that inner voice. And what does that inner voice do? It never says don't. Well, sometimes it says don't, but it mostly says do this. And it wants us to do this with love. Self-love first, and then communal love, etc. So I had to ask myself, if I'm thinking this idea of trust, what does that look like? It takes putting one step in front of the other, right? Even when we can't see the whole path, or perhaps even when we can't see the whole staircase. So it looks like saying that I don't know, but I'm willing to trust that there's something within me even greater that knows the answer. Always. All we have to do is stop and take a breath. And perhaps we might say to ourselves, I'm willing to trust the timing of my life. I am supported even when I cannot see the way. We're all supported by something that is so powerful, but we don't really get it yet. That there is that within us, all around us, everywhere, that we can call God or first cause or divine energy, that's what I like to call it, thinking more quantumly, that this is here for us, every single thing. I don't remember one Sunday I remember, I was telling you something about, I can go to my house and touch the doorway and get an answer from the divine, about anything, because everything is spirit, absolutely everything. So we have to say, I am willing to trust the timing of my life. I am supported even when I cannot see the way. This is actually pretty good news, because if I had to be in control of everything, well, we'd all be in trouble. So letting ourselves remember this constantly, that there is that within me that knows the highest and best good for myself, for my family, for our church community, for our country, for everything. And sometimes I look at stuff and I have to go, regardless of appearances, there is something greater happening here. So I want you to remember, truth. This is an absolute truth. There's a path, you're on it, and you're not walking it alone. So we want to totally rely upon Spirit's timing. Totally rely upon Spirit's timing. In other words, trust. Absolutely trust. So let's go into prayer. For those of you who might be newer to our community, what I'm doing is a spiritual mind treatment. And the first part of a spiritual mind treatment is to recognize that all there is the divine, this energy. And then I align with it, and then I speak my word for what I want, and then I give thanks for it, and it's done. So this is just the pattern. So how grateful I am to know that there's only one power, one presence, one substance here. This divine energy is the source and substance of absolutely everything that there is. And so we allow ourselves to remember that it's not just out there, it's within us. It's the life force within this body. And so we celebrate knowing that this divine energy is in every cell and atom of our being. And today I know that we're ready to take the next step and trust this energy, this divine energy, more fully than we ever have before. And in this trusting, we allow ourselves to walk that path of spirit, bringing along our mind and our bodies, but walking the path of spirit, letting our mind stay in a more positive frame of mind, letting our bodies be healthy, be strong. Remembering that spirit is absolutely for our highest good, for our highest good, our family's highest good, for everyone's highest good, all across this planet, for this planet's highest good. Everything is divine energy. All the plants and animals and insects, everything. Cars, chairs, everything is divine energy made manifest. And so we celebrate this. We celebrate recognizing that we are living in the very midst of this divine energy, or we could say we're living in the heart of God. And so we're grateful for this, so grateful. Remembering that as we walk our path and we keep our thoughts on a higher level, the whole universe rushes forward to help us create whatever it is we desire. And I know right now, I desire peace. Peace in our country, peace in our hearts, peace on the planet. A greater peace than we've ever known. And I know this is possible because I know that I can totally rely upon Spirit's timing. I can trust. We can trust. This is a good thing. And so I release these words into divine law, knowing that they are being worked on right now, knowing that they are already so, and so it is. And Donna is giving us a gift of music this morning. Let's give her a hand.
So most of you know, music that I prefer to do is fairly syncopated, pretty straightforward. It's got a downbeat and an upbeat and all of that stuff. Well, years ago at Asilomar, I met a musician who does none of that. His name is Daniel Namod. You may be familiar with some of his stuff. And so I've thrown the challenge to our house musicians here, and they have met the challenge. So here we go. It's called And So Are We.
Sorry, I'm in the wrong key.
They're still meeting it. Whoever we think we are, wherever we think we're headed, whatever we're going through right now, there's a truth behind it all, about the stuff we're really made of. And the greatest truth of all is that in its image, God has made us. And if that's true, just think about what it means for me and you. God is light, and so are we. God is love, so are we. God is life, so are we. It's truth that cannot be denied. God is power, so are we. God is peace, so are we. God is beauty and joy, so are we. That's the truth of ourself and the truth of all humankind. Light cuts through the darkness of our lives. Love unites us all as one. Life is a gift we share and cherish every day. Peace is our heartfelt prayer. Joy is found most everywhere. Power is the knowledge that our precious dreams will find their way. And beauty is in every rock and flower, every living thing, every passing hour. God is light, and so are we. God is love, so are we. God is life, so are we. It's truth that cannot be denied. God is power, so are we. God is peace, so are we. God is beauty and joy, so are we. The truth of ourself and the truth of all humankind. God is light, and so are we. God is love, so are we. God is life, and so are we. That's the truth that cannot be denied. God is power, so are we. God is peace, so are we. God is beauty and joy, so are we. That's the truth of ourself and the truth of all humankind.
Thank you, Donna. Okay, next up, we're going to share our gifts. But Angelica, per your comment about the path, as many of you know, I would like to believe I still am, a motivational speaker and was on the road traveling about people helping them achieve their goals. And I know one of the more common comments was, I think I've lost my way. And so just a metaphor for you. Sometimes the path we are on feels like a 4-lane superhighway. You're the only person on the freeway. You're driving a convertible. It's sunshine. You got your favorite music on the stereo, and it's blasting away. Periodically, you're driving a more older car. It's a 2-lane highway when you're getting through it. Once in a while, it's bumper-to-bumper traffic, and the windshield wipers are scraping, and you can't see where you're going. And periodically, it's a third-world goat trail, and all you have is a machete, but you're never off the path. So thank you for reminding me about that. Now, before we pass the plates around, I'm going to do it a little bit backwards. I'm going to ask everybody to put money or whatever you can in the plate. But before we do it, take a moment, gather some loving, peaceful thoughts per Donna's song about the power, the peace, the light that we are. Think about it for just a second. Picture yourself that way. And then when you put your gift into the pot, that too will be going in with it. So first we all say, I gratefully give from the fullness of my abundance, knowing my gift blesses this center, all in it and beyond, and so it is. And the band plays. I am grateful for understanding that there is only one, and it is energy. Everything is part of that energy. The thoughts that we had immediately before making these gifts, the gifts that we put into these plates, the plates themselves, the people who are holding them, and the energy and the love that it will then send out into our community, into our state, and to help heal this country and our world, because it is all one energy, and that one energy is infused by the love we put in here. So I release these words into the universal law of mind, knowing they're already happening, and I just need to get out of the way and let it go. And with that, I am grateful, and I say, and so it is. All righty then. So we have a moment if there's somebody who would like to do a demonstration, explain a demonstration that has happened to them. For those of you who are, no, not you, not you. I meant somebody important. Anyway, James, if you'll come forward. And if you do not know, a demonstration is the way the philosophy works. Everything is energy, all the ideas, all the possibilities, they're already out there. Periodically, we tap into them. We let them flow within. They manifest on this plane, whether it's finding the perfect parking spot or inheriting $1 million or anything in between. It all comes to us as a demonstration, and James will now explain that.
Last year, I had some hummingbirds. I had a couple hummingbird feeders. And the hummingbirds were just coming, and I was just so happy. And then my wife decided she wanted a bird feeder with bird seed in it, like Louise has. So we put one up in the backyard. Well, these bluebirds with black heads came. They ate the little baby bluebirds, and all the hummingbirds left. I was so sad. I just couldn't believe it. So we finally took the one feeder and put it in the front yard. And this year, the hummingbirds have come back. I can't tell you. I have 2 12-ounce feeders that I'm filling up 3 times a day. I filled 2 at 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and then I had at 8:20, I filled the other one up, and then this morning before we walked out of the house, I filled the other one up. And when I get home, I'll have to do it again. I'm showing people pictures that I have on my phone. There's like 5 and 10 of them at a time coming. It was like, and then last year somebody says, well, they'll come back. And they did.
Hey, Scott, why do hummingbirds hum?
Jeff, why do hummingbirds hum? They don't know the words. But bump. Please tip your waiters, find your parking when you leave, and we'll be here all week. Okay, what we need next is somebody to read our community statement of inclusion. Bonus points if you've never done it before. After the community statement of inclusion, we will do the peace song, which Donna will lead. And if you're not familiar with the peace song, a couple of things about it. First of all, it's going to be on that screen. So if you're not familiar with it, I suggest you stand over on this side so you're not doing one of these. Secondly, a reminder that it is an affirmation. So when you sing it, realize it is actually taking place. And some people haven't noticed, it is in the present tense. This is the piece that is meant to be, not was meant to be. Minor thing, but just want to put it in present tense. All right, that out of the way, anal retentive will now step down. Do I have somebody who would like to read the community statement of inclusion? Judy, yay Judy.
We, the Eureka Center of Spiritual Living, are a community that celebrates diversity, fosters inclusion, champions inner work, and creates space for brave, vulnerable connections. We are a community that honors the unique emanation of God that each person embodies and advocates for people with human rights and dignity for all. We are a community that blesses each other, sees sacredness in all life, remains learners and listeners so we may grow together, and understands that oneness is not sameness. We know our beloved community is revealed more fully when we love each other well.
May I escort you back to your seat?
Please stand and make a circle around the room. Position yourself where you can see the words if you like. Ready? Well done, well done. No pushing and shoving. Yes, there is peace